and welcome to Yoga Bar Elements chair yoga practice. So I decided to put this practice together for those of you that are either working from home or still at the office and need a little bit of something that's a good and sturdy stretch. Perhaps a little bit of time out for yourself at lunchtime or a break in the day, and something that can be easily accessed from your office chair or your workspace at home. Now, often with yoga, sometimes it can be a little bit less accessible to those with injuries or ailments. Perhaps you feel you need to be more supported. So this is a wonderful option if you're also working with any kind of injuries, or you're unable to get up and down off the yoga mat as easily as you'd like to. So this is a great introduction to yoga as well if you are a complete beginner to yoga. So what we're going to do is for you to practice this yoga, you will just need a chair and a little bit of space around you, just ensuring that the chair is sturdy, that it's got perhaps a high back to it, and hopefully we won't have any armrest. So we want this space here clear for us. So if you have that available, we're going to begin the practice. So in your chair, you're going to sit with your feet flatly on the ground and your knees slightly apart. So perhaps at about hip distance. Try and ensure that your feet are flat to the floor and that they're not hovering above the ground, and that you're creating a nice tall spine. So we're drawing the crown of the head up towards the sky. So keeping the chin parallel to the floor, but raising up through the top of the head. So we're really creating a lovely, long, tall spine. And here, just for a moment, we're going to sit with our hands rested onto our knees. Roll the shoulders back and just relax the shoulders down away from the ears. And here, just closing the eyes. And we're going to prepare for the practice with some breath. So focusing in on the breath as you inhale through your nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And here we are sighing away, releasing all that does not serve us in our practice today. Allowing each in-breath to bring fresh, positive energy into our system. And each out-breath, we can dispel the body of all that it does not need. Throughout your practice, don't worry too much about the timing of breath. Just ensure that you are breathing. Try not to retain the breath in any of the postures, and try to really enjoy and focus on the cleansing of breathing. Without breathing, there is no yoga. So whilst we are here, with our eyes gently closed and raising up through the spine to create that tall, tall length through the spine, we're just becoming aware of our bodies and noticing how our body feels. Right now, today, in this moment, how do you feel? And you don't need to do anything with this other than just observe. And as you find yourself slowly calming and preparing for the practice ahead, you're going to draw your hands together at your heart center And here we're going to set an intention for our practice today. So whatever your intention might be, perhaps you're taking a break from your work today. Perhaps you're visiting yoga for the first time and intend to find out what it's all about. Or perhaps you're dealing with injury or recovery or lack of mobility in certain parts of your body, and you still want to practice yoga, but you're intending to do it with support. And along with this intention, your personal intention, we always intend to practice with patience and honesty, a love, a respect, and a devotion for ourselves. We're going to open the eyes. We're going to draw the hands down to the side of the body. And we're going to start by just releasing some tension in the neck. So just allowing your right ear to come towards your right shoulder, just tilting the head slightly towards the shoulder. Try and keep the shoulder relaxed down and draw the ear towards the shoulder. Then perhaps you can reach out your left arm to the side a little, so we lengthen that stretch that little bit more. And if you feel it might be there for you, you could even raise the right arm up, draw the fingertips over to the left temple, and then allow your fingertips to just draw that ear that little bit closer. This will deepen the stretch, but stay with whichever suits you. And then nice and steady, start to return to your center, bringing the hands back to the side of the body. And then we're going to draw the left ear towards the left shoulder. So begin here, see how this feels for you. Remember to try and keep the shoulders down, the back straight, but drawing that ear to just lengthen through the side neck. Then perhaps we can reach the right arm out to the side a little, lengthen that bit more. And if you feel it's there for you, raise your left arm up and bring your left fingertips to your right temple. And then you have the opportunity to see if we can just apply a gentle asking pressure there for that little bit more stretch into the neck. Still lifting tall through the spine, grounding down through the feet and sit bones. And nice and steady, releasing and coming back to your center. So turning the palms up now, we're going to take an inhale and raise all the way up to the sky, stretching as tall as we can. Exhale and release. Inhale, raise all the way up. Exhale and release. One more. Inhale, raise all the way up. Exhale and release. Now drawing our hands to our knees. We're going to come into cat-cow. So this is a way to warm the back muscles and the shoulder and chest. So we're going to take an inhale, lift and expand your heart up towards the sky as you just dip slightly into your lower back. Lifting your chin if you can, relaxing the shoulders down and back. And as you take an exhale, you're going to round into your back. Draw your shoulders forward, bring your gaze downwards. Inhale, lift and expand the heart. Exhale, curl into the spine, chin towards your chest. Inhale, lift and expand your heart. Exhale, curl, chin to chest. One more. Inhale, lift and expand your heart. Exhale, curl into the chest. Lovely. Now coming back to your center. So we're going to take our right hand and we're going to reach over to the left side of the chair and take hold of the chair here. Sitting up as tall as you can, we take a in breath as we raise the left arm up to the sky, gaze towards our left palm, and exhale as we stretch the body over to the right. So keeping a hold of the chair for that security and support, but feeling that lovely length through the side body. And inhale back to your center. We're going to take the left arm and bring it round to the back of the chair. And it's here that we'll begin to bring what's known as our dishtri, our gaze, over our left shoulder as we twist subtly into the spine. Breathe, nice big inhales and releasing exhales, keeping the tall spine. Nice and steady here, begin to come through to your center. Then we're taking the left hand, reaching over to the right side of the chair. Take an inhale, we're raising the right arm up to the sky, gazing up towards that palm. And as we exhale, we move into the left side stretch. So we're moving the body over to the left, but we're stretching the right side of the body. Breathe. Noticing how this feels, listening to your body all the time. Inhale, return to your center, and then we're going to guide the right hand to the back of the chair. Taking our gaze, our dishtri, over the right shoulder as we begin to twist subtly into the spine. Lifting tall through the crown of the head, breathing. And nice and steady, we bring it back to our center point. So here we're going to do some half sun salutations. In yoga, these are known as Surya Namaskar. On the mat, they can be quite dynamic, but whilst we're on the chair, we can access this with support and a little bit gentler. So we're going to take an inhale, raise the arms all the way up, bring the hands together in prayer, and as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Begin to hinge at your hips as you draw your chest towards your thighs as we begin to fold forward. When your chest is rest upon your thighs, bring your hands to the mat and fold your head and neck into the legs. Inhale, lift just your gaze and lengthen up through the spine. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, begin to roll up through the vertebra, restacking nice and steady. Raise the arms up all the way, hands together in prayer. Exhale through your heart and begin to hinge at your hips as you draw your chest towards your thighs, steady as you go. When you're rested on your thighs, hands to the ground and lower and release the head and neck. Inhale, lift just the gaze, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, begin to roll up through the vertebra, restacking safely. Raise the arms up to the sky, hands together in prayer. Exhaling through the heart, hinging at the hips, folding forward, drawing the chest to the thighs. Reach for the ground and fold the head and neck in. Inhale, lift the gaze, extend through the spine. Exhale and fold in. Inhaling as we roll all the way up the vertebra, arms up towards the sky. Exhale and bring your hands to your heart. Now taking our hands to the side of the body, you might find it easier to turn sideways on your seat for this. You're going to lengthen out your legs a little bit as you come towards the edge of the seat. Now often we need soft knees and a forward fold, so keep the softness there in the knees should you need to. We're going to take a big inhale, raise all the way up, lengthen through the spine, and as we exhale, we're once again drawing the chest towards the thighs. Now here might be plenty for you. Resting your hands on your shins or even your thighs if that feels better. Taking a slight flexion in the feet, so we begin to stretch into the hamstrings. For those of you that might have a little bit more depth, keep breathing out as we begin to roll the chest down towards the thighs. Perhaps we can find some length in the legs and allow the head and neck to fold in. Breathing here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, nice and slowly. Use your hands to help you roll back up to your seat. And we turn back to the center of our chair. So coming into some leg activation now. So you're going to draw yourself a little bit closer to the edge of your seat here. Just ensure that you still have a firm stance with your feet on the ground and knees approximately hip distance apart. So we're trying to keep this alignment as much as possible. And throughout the whole session, we're trying to keep that lovely length through the spine, so the tall spine. Especially when we begin to move the legs here, we might find that we, for lack of a better word, kind of dump into the lower back. So we don't want to do that. We really want to keep that back nice and straight. So from a side point of view, my back is straight here. If I allow that lower back to dump, I'm going to collapse into my back. My shoulders become rounded and my spine is out of line. So keeping it nice and straight, tall spine throughout. What this also helps us to do is when we begin to do the leg activation, it ensures that we're actually using our core muscles to help us do this, as we don't want to come away from core activation. We want the core to help the effort. We don't want all the work to be in the lower back. And of course, as we all know, core strength equals back strength. They are the marrying couple of muscles that will support the lower back in all activities. So a strong core, we're strong everywhere else. Okay, so for our leg activations, we're going to take our hands to the side of the chair, but try if you can not to grip with a death grip onto the chair, because all that'll do is bring all the tension into the shoulders, neck and chest. What we want to do is just a case of feeling secure and helping us perhaps lengthen a little bit through that spine. So when you've found your position on the edge of your seat, we're going to begin with some alternate knee lifts. So we'll begin with the right leg, and we're going to flex the foot and lift the right knee up as high as we can. And exhale it down. Left leg raises up and release it down. Again, be aware and focus on that back. Right leg lifts and lowers. Left leg lifts and lowers. Right leg lifts and lowers. Left leg lifts and lowers. Now you can keep your hands where they are for those of you that want a bit of extra challenge. Arms out to the side and right leg lift and lower. Left leg lift and lower. We might feel the hip flexors kick in here. Right leg lift and lower. Keep pulling up through the back and pulling the belly button in. Left leg lift and lower. Lovely. Bring the hands back to the chair for the security. This time we're going to raise the right leg, and then we're going to see if we can extend that leg and then bend and then release. So try and remember to keep that back nice and straight. Left leg bend and lift, extend, bend and release. Right leg, lift and bend, extend, bend and release. Left leg, lift, extend, bend and release. One more here. Right leg, lift, extend, bend and release. Left leg, lift, extend, bend and release. And for the sake of a little bit more challenge, those of you that like to reach your arms out for a couple of sets, otherwise stay with your hands on the chair. Lifting through the spine, really important now. Pull that belly button back towards the rib cage, and right leg lift, extend, bend and release. Left leg lift, extend, bend and release. Right leg lift, extend, bend and release. Left leg lift, extend, bend and release, and relax the arms down. Lovely, well done. Okay, so we want to come into the hips a little now, so we're going to open the hips out. So taking the left hand, taking hold of the chair, if that feels okay for you. You're going to raise your right knee up, keep the back nice and straight. Take the right hand to the right knee, little flexion in the right foot so that it's activating. And then exhale as you open the hip out to the side. And inhale, draw it back in and release. Right hand to the chair, left knee lifts, take hold of the left knee, flexion in the foot, exhale it out to the side. And then draw it back in and release it down. So you can stay with holding on to the chair if that makes you feel better. Otherwise, this time reaching the left arm out to the side. Raise the right knee, take a hold. Exhale, open that right hip out to the side. And if you feel it might be there for you, perhaps you can turn your gaze out to your left palm. Breathe. Nice, big, lengthening breaths with a tall spine. And nice and steady, bring it all back to center and release that leg down. Again, holding onto the chair if you feel necessary, otherwise reaching the right arm out. We draw the left knee up, flexion in the foot, exhale, open the left hip out to the side. If you feel it might be there for you, take your gaze out to the right palm and breathe. Keep focusing all the time on lengthening through the spine. Inhale and exhale. Nice, big, lengthening breaths. And very steady, bringing it all back to center. Great stuff. Okay, holding on to the sides of the chair. We're going to keep the left foot grounded and we're going to extend the right foot outwards. So we want the right leg as extended as possible and directly in front of us. And we're going to do 8 lifts with an extended leg on each leg. So we'll start with the right leg and stay there. So inhaling and lift, exhale, release, trying to keep the leg straight as possible. Inhale, lift, exhale, release, keeping that back nice and straight. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. 4 left. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. 2 left. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. So keeping that foot out and extended in front of you, we're going to take the hands to the thighs, Take a nice big inhale, stretch tall. And as you exhale, start to walk your hands down your leg, drawing your chest towards your thighs. So we can just stretch into the back of the hamstring here. Obviously, if you need to keep your back a little bit straighter, pull up a little bit. I'll just show you this from the side. So I have my right leg outstretched, left leg bent, and I'm folding over the right leg. You might have some more depth here. You might be able to fold all the way down, but try not to overreach through the shoulders just for the sake of reaching the foot. Just enjoy the stretch into the back of the hamstring and breathing there. And then walking up nice and slowly. Bring the right leg back, perhaps take the heel of your palm and just give that right thigh a little bit of a rub. Lovely. Okay, left side. So taking hold of the chair, out, stretch the left leg, little flexion in the foot. We want to try and keep this leg activated throughout. The right foot is grounded down into the mat, supporting us, and we're sat up nice and tall. We've got 8 lifts with the left leg. And inhale, lift, exhale, release. Inhale, lift, exhale, release. Inhale, 3, exhale, release. Tall spine. Inhale, 4, exhale, release. Inhale, 5, exhale, release. Inhale, 6, exhale, release. Inhale, 7, exhale, release. Inhale, 8, exhale and release. When you're ready, really big, lovely inhale, lengthen up through the spine, and as you exhale, hinge from these hips as you begin to fold forward over that leg, stretching into the hamstring. Remembering this is about stretching the leg, not overstretching and really cramping up into our shoulders and neck. Perhaps resting one hand on the opposite knee helps. This is about accessibility, so just do what you feel is good for you. Breathe. Okay, nice and steady now, just making your way back up to your seat. And for our last activation of the legs, we're going to draw the right knee all the way up and into the heart. And we're going to draw the nose towards the knee. So in this action, we do find a slight curvature in the spine, but try not to bring your shoulders right up to your ears. You're trying to stretch into the neck as you bring your nose towards your knee. And then take a big in breath and open that leg out, flex the foot and open the arms out to the side. And exhale as you draw back in and curl a little into the spine. Inhale, open all the way out. Exhale, curl in. One more. Inhale, open all the way out. Exhale, curl in. And release the foot down. Let us move on to the left side. So drawing the left knee to the heart. Nose to knee, find that curvature, but try and keep the shoulders relaxed, curl into the neck and back, rather than cramping shoulders to ears. When we're ready, big in breath, and open out, extend the leg, flex the foot, open the arms. Exhale, draw it back in. Inhale, open it out. Exhale, draw it back in. Inhale, open it out. Exhale, draw it back in. Lovely, and coming back to your center. Perhaps just roll the shoulders out. So now we're going to come into our goddess pose. So from here, we want a little bit of accessibility, so moving a little bit further forward on your seat. And you're going to open your legs out to the sides. So this is our goddess pose. Now be quite mindful here that we want to try and align the knees over the ankles as much as possible. So if you find that your knees are buckling inwards and your feet are turned out quite far but your knees are buckling, then draw your turnout a little bit smaller, just so you can align that properly. And listen to your body. Hip opening comes with time and practice, so do what your body feels right to do. So here in our goddess posture, normally on the mat without the support of a chair, this is very, very strong asana, very strong pose. So if we're building this up with the support of the chair, when it comes to perhaps a mat practice, you might find this a little bit more accessible. Okay, nice tall spine. Keep working on drawing these knees back all the time. We're creating good strain to the inner thighs. Take an inhale, raise the arms all the way up. Exhale to the heart. Inhale, raise all the way up. Exhale to the heart. Inhale, raise all the way up, thinking about those knees, those thighs. Exhale through the heart. One more. Inhale, raise all the way up. Exhale to the heart. Now we're going to draw our hands down towards our kneecaps. And we're going to release the shoulders. So listen again to your body here. If you feel your turnout's a little bit too much, bring the toes back inwards a little. We're going to begin to really lengthen through the spine, get our seat so it's comfortable as possible. And then exhale as we just draw the body slightly forward. So we want the chest pronounced, shoulders roll back, and a nice straight back. Then we're going to take the right shoulder and dip it down towards the left. And at the same time, we're pressing the hand gently onto that right inner thigh. We want to try and create a little bit more opening of the thigh as we release the shoulder and stretch into lower back. And draw back to center. And then left shoulder. So dipping the left shoulder forward, applying a gentle asking pressure to that left inner thigh and knee. Don't apply too much force, it's all about the journey here. Inhale back to center. And again to the right. Right shoulder dips. We're still trying to keep length in the spine, so trying to avoid dropping your neck like this or overexerting your neck like this. Just think about energy coming from the crown and a nice straight back. Applying that gentle opening pressure to the right thigh. Inhale back to center and to the left side, dropping the left shoulder, applying that good strain to that opening of the hip and thigh. Gaze is just ahead of you as you've got nice length through the spine. And then coming back to your center point. So staying with our goddess posture here, we take an inhale, raise the arms all the way up. And as we exhale, we're going to begin to bring a slight bend into the elbows. And then we're going to bring our index finger and thumb together on both hands. This is known as Chin Mudra. Breathing. Again, if we were simply on the mat without a chair here, this posture would be held in a standing stance where we'd be focused on the length of the spine, really breathing into those inner thighs. Feet are grounded through the whole of the sole of the foot. So although we have the chair supporting us, still try and focus on all of these things. And as we take an exhale, we're going to guide our right elbow to our right thigh and our gaze up to our left hand, trying to keep that structure of the arms. Inhale, return to center. And as you exhale, bring your left elbow to your left thigh and your gaze up to your right hand. Inhale, come back to center. One more each side. Exhaling, right elbow to right thigh, gaze up to the left hand. Inhale, center. And then exhaling, left elbow to left thigh as we gaze up to the right hand. And inhale to your center. Lengthen the arms out to the sides. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, bring it to the heart. Lovely. Relax the feet off here a little. Rub those thighs. I'm sure that your quads might have reacted a little bit to that. Okay, and then from this position here, we're going to come into our warrior two. So whilst you're moving around on the chair itself, do be careful and mindful of the chair moving. This is why it's important to have a sturdy chair. So what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to make sure we've got hold of the chair and we're sat back just slightly. We're then going to reach the right leg out behind, to the side of us. And then we're going to begin to turn the body towards the left knee. And as you can see, my body here now is supported, the whole of the back of my left thigh is supported by the chair. My left toes are pointing forwards and my right foot is turned outwards. So I don't know if you can quite see that, but the back side of my foot is parallel to my mat. So we're then turning allowing the hips to stay open here as we do in warrior two. And then when you're ready, you're going to see if you can draw your arms up to shoulder height. Now we kind of want these arms as level as possible. We want to roll the shoulders back slightly and relax them down. We don't want the shoulders up here. Okay, we want nice, relaxed shoulders. And the distri, the gaze, is officially down the middle finger of the front hand, helping us to focus on this posture. And we're keeping the torso central, shoulders over her hip, and breathe. Warrior two. Try and keep the length in that back leg, pressing through the back side of that back heel. And then we're going to reverse the warrior. So we're going to guide our back hand towards the back leg, reach the right arm, the left arm up to the sky and begin to reach back. Again, listening to your body here, only go as far as feels good for you. And then drawing the body back up to center, you're going to bring your left elbow to your left thigh and reach your right arm up to the sky. So this is a variation of the side angle stretch. And for those of you that feel the depths there, trying to keep that right shoulder open, so don't bring the arm forward and in front of the face. We wanted to try and come up and over the head, so we can still gaze underneath that right armpit. And if you can see from my right heel up to my right fingertips, my body is a straight line as I stretch into the right side body, side angle stretch. Breathe. And nice and steady now, we begin to bring it back to center. Support yourself on your seat, bend the back knee gently, and then shuffle yourself round to the other side. So begin by stepping the left foot out to the side, then making sure you've got a good hold of your chair. Begin to turn your whole body towards your right knee. So we've got the right foot solid down, right toes pointing forward, left leg outstretched behind us with the left side of the foot parallel to the mat, and the whole of the inner right thigh and leg is supported by the chair. When we feel ready, we're reaching our arms up to the side of the body, relaxing down through the shoulders, perhaps rolling them back helps us do this. Trying to level the arms out, palms facing downwards, gaze down the middle finger of the front hand. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Breathe. Again, on the mat without the support of a chair, this posture is very, very strong. It's used for grounding and helping us deal with the fight or flight energy that we feel. So this, with the supported chair, will really help us gain the ability to find the strength and stamina for the posture on the mat without the chair. When we're ready, we're going to begin to guide that back hand to the back leg. And then we're inhaling and raising the right arm up and over the head as we come into what's known as reverse warrior. Listen to your body here. And then exhaling, draw back through center. Guide your right elbow to your right thigh and bring your left arm up to the sky. So again, this might be enough for you here. Otherwise, see if we can stretch that left arm up and over the head, but we still want that gaze open, the chest rolled open. We don't want to be having the arm over the face like this. We want to really try and open that side body up. Breathe, keep lengthening through that back leg, gazing towards the sky if we can. Again, and very strong posture on the mat without the supportive chair. So here we're building that strength and stability with a little extra aid. Inhaling and gently bringing yourself back to your center point. Hands to the chair to support you. Bend that and release that back leg, and then swivel your bottom round back onto your chair into the center. So bringing our hands to our knees here. And once again, just in case we've accessed something in the lower back with our reverse warrior that we've maybe not felt before, we're just going to release that out. So hands onto the knees. Inhale, lift and expand the heart to cat. And exhale, sorry, I beg your pardon, that was cow. And exhale and arch into your spine for cow. Inhale, lift the heart and chest to cow, and exhale into your cat. One more. Inhale, lift the heart to cow, exhale to cat, arching into the upper back, chin towards your chest. Okay, lovely. Once again, now coming back to your center and finding that nice tall spine here. So perhaps you want to just edge a little bit further forward onto your chair, so you've got a bit more mobility with the legs. Again, nice tall spine. We want here to perhaps hold onto the chair if you feel more secure doing so. Otherwise, hands rested down onto the side of the body for now. We're now going to take the right heel and we're going to place it onto the left thigh. So the top of the left thigh. And we want to try and keep that left knee nice and aligned, knee to hip. So don't let it fall out to the side like this. We want it to stay central. We're then going to take our right hand onto our right knee and our left hand onto the foot. And again, sitting up nice and tall. This is known as a pigeon pose, or a variation of, obviously, to accommodate our chair. So breathing nice, lengthening breaths, trusting your body, lifting up through the spine. Now, if you find your knees up here, that's absolutely fine. We're working towards this, remember. But what we want to try and ensure is, even if your knee is up here, that you're not dipping into your lower back. You're still keeping that tallness in your spine. And eventually, with practice, this thigh will open. Nice deep breaths. Perhaps if you're feeling good and you can release your hands, you can bring them to your heart and just find a little bit of focus there by pressing the palms together. In Anjali Mudra, this hand gesture is known as. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, elbows out to the sides, and breathe. Okay, lovely. When we're ready, we're now going to guide this right knee upwards towards the chest, keeping it on the outside of the left thigh. Now, if this feels a bit much for you, you can just cross the legs over here. So take that modification if you feel it's necessary. Otherwise, lifting that right knee up towards the chest. Big, tall spine here. This is really important as we twist. We have to create the space by lifting, and then as we exhale, we move into that space more easily. So we're going to draw the left hand and take hold of that right knee and draw it into the chest. Or if you're here, you're drawing open your chest like this, so you're able to twist. So whichever position you're in, using your left hand to help you open up and twist into the spine. And then we're going to take the right hand, and that's going to be guided to the back of the chair as your gaze comes over your right shoulder. And breathe. So always lifting tall into that spine, creating that length and longevity of our spine. And exhale, come back through your center and just bring your right hand over to your right foot and your left hand to the side of the left side of the chair, and just counter the twist a little there. And back to center. Release the right leg down. Okay, moving on to the left side. So we can begin by just ensuring we've got that tall spine by resting the hands at the side of the chair, length. And then when we're ready, we're bringing the left ankle onto the right thigh. And again, we're often very different on the two different sides. One side is generally stronger than the other in our body. We find this in yoga. But of course, yoga works both sides of the body, so it's important that we still attempt each posture on each side. So here again, you might find your knees a little bit lower and you're more open in your hip, or you might find the legs high here. Again, it's about the spine, keeping that nice and tall, breath into that inner thigh, so you can gradually, over time, start to open that hip out. Wherever you're at, resting your hands and lifting tall through the spine. For those of you that are finding it comfortable to leave the foot as it is and the knee open, you can bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra and sit up nice and tall. Breathe. And often we might experience the strain in the thigh here. Pigeon pose again is a complex posture, particularly when done on the mat. But this is a nice variation that's accessible to most, if not all, practitioners, beginners, and definitely people that have practiced yoga for a long time. It doesn't really matter what level you're at, it's about the journey and about experiencing what feels good for you, and knowing that with practice, it will all come to you. Remaining tall, breathing big cleansing breaths. Okay, nice and steady now. We're going to come into that twist. So we're drawing the left knee towards the heart, keeping that left foot on the outside of the thigh, or we're crossing the leg over for the modification, so it's a little bit more accessible for you. Otherwise, knee up to the heart, right hand takes hold of the left knee and it encourages that left knee towards the chest. And if we've got a nice straight back, we're getting a really great glute stretch here as well. And then on the exhale, we're going to move into the space, bringing the left hand to the back of the chair and our gaze over the left shoulder for our lovely twist here. Keep focusing on that lumbar spine, the bottom of the back. What's happening? Are we dumping into that area? We want to keep it tall, lifting through the crown. And then nice and steady, coming through your center, taking your left hand to your left foot and your right hand to the side of the chair and just countering that twist a little there. Okay, and coming back to the center, nice and steady, release the legs. And here we're just going to bring our bottom right to the edge of the chair have a little shake of the legs. Just release some of that chi, some of that energy. And then we're going to bring the arms out to the side of the body. And we're just going to drop the knees to the right side as we gaze out to the left. Come back through center, drop the knees out to the left side, gaze out to the right. Drop the knees out to the right, gaze out to the left. Drop the knees out to the left, gaze out to the right. Coming back to your center, release the arms, we're nearly there. Sit back slightly into your seat. Take a nice big inhale, raise all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to your thighs and help yourself walk down if you need to. Otherwise, folding forward, just release all of it out. Head and neck relaxes down. Breathe and let go. Okay, we're going to roll up through the spine, nice and steady. When we get back to standing, let's roll, beg your pardon, to sitting. We're going to roll the shoulders back. And then we're going to shuffle the bum right to the back of the chair. And it's here that we're going to allow the body to be supported by the high back of the chair, but try not to dump again too much into the body. We still want a little bit of structure to our seat, so still raising the crown of the head towards the sky. We're going to bring the hands down onto the knees. This is going to be our Shavasana. So Shavasana on the mat is usually done in a laying position. And it's about the relaxation, rest, recovery, and sort of reflection upon the practice we've just done. It gives us an opportunity to integrate all the physical elements of the practice, but also to bring ourselves back into a mindful space of awareness and just being at one with ourselves. So we'll take a few moments here for our Shavasana. Bringing our hands down onto our knees, relax into the shoulders. Now you can have the option to turn the palms up if you wish in reception of great energy. You could even choose to bring your hands into Chin Mudra, thumb and index finger together. And you can allow the knees to start to relax out to the side a little, but still try and keep a little bit of length in the spine. We're going to close our eyes here. And we're going to allow the whole body to radiate with peace, with light, and with love. As we inhale, let, exhale, go. Inhale, let, exhale, go. Inhale, let, exhale, go. Just let go. Release all self-judgment, self-doubt. Release frailty. Release a sense of weakness. As you breathe in, self-confidence, self-awareness, positive and vibrant energy. And whilst you are here, thank yourself for making the time for your practice today. Making the time for you. Remember to love and honor yourself every single day. So nice and steady here, just finding a little bit of movement in your fingers and toes. And perhaps just moving your neck from side to side, just awakening the body once again. Open your eyes, and when you're ready, bringing your hands to your heart, and we shall just seal today's practice. Let us be thankful and grateful for all that we have and all that we are. Let us be well, let us be joyful, and let us be mindful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you a beautiful day. Namaste.